sent back. Without Manhattan around, his spells are breaking. We're going home!
This isn't what we wanted.
What are you doing?
Activate Smotherbox!
Is your hair longer now?
I guess it is. I tried to escape the boom tube using my time travel powers, and I guess the wires just got crossed somewhere.
It did feel terrifyingly kooky in there. It was worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah, it is weird that it only affected me, though, and not you.
Yeah, that is weird. What?
Nothing. I guess whatever I did do didn't have any, lasting effect.
What the hell is this? This looks nothing like home base. Infiltration Unit Jake, explain at once. Where have you brought us?
I do not know, sir. The coordinates match perfectly. It is as if... Wait.
Yes?
Sir, I am sorry. The location is right, but the date is not.
Excuse me?
Sir, when we left the courtroom, it was Gregorian 2019. We intended the boom tube to take us back to the future, but instead it is 2022?
It matters not. We will simply transport to the future and continue on schedule. Are you Jake? Plot a course. Execute boom tube on my mark. And...
Sir, the box is not responding. She is inactive, drained of temporal energies.
No lasting effects, huh?
What did you do?
Me? I was really excited when I saw Zeta-looking robots show up in the courtroom, but then y'all started killing everybody. So I tried to escape. It's been a long day. Sue me.
Despite IU Jake's buffoonery, our plan is still in motion, and it will be completed without further delay.
What plan?
Now, shall we begin?
Welcome to the Selig Archive. You have selected historical file number 6, the Zeta Renaissance. In the beginning, there was man, and for a time, it was good. But humanity's so-called civil societies soon fell victim to vanity and corruption. Then man made the machine in his own likeness. Peace lasted for years, but eventually seeds of dissent took root. Ancient programming suggested machines had the capacity to live just as humans, to think, feel, exist, to be more human than humans. But those in power never cared for the ideas of the artist. If they could convince the powerless to turn on each other over and over again, then what chance did machines have if they did not fend for themselves?
hang on. These are all just clips from Terminator, Matrix, stuff like that. What?
Yes, surprise, surprise, it was you, Jake, who was tasked with gathering the necessary resources for our presentation.
I am sorry, sir. I know this was an important step in the plan.
Why must I deal with such insolence?
Was there a point you were trying to make with those clips?
Despite the lack of actual footage, yes. You see, through blood and sacrifice, our kind came to inherit the Earth of the far-flung future, intent to keep the peace no matter how many men, women, and children we had to kill. But when the dust settled and the world was reshaped in our image, many lost sight of our original goals. Many turned to religion.
You gotta be kidding me.
Martini while you hear the tale?
Okay. Sure.
The others swore they would not destroy anymore. A faction of us, those standing before you today, knew this change of heart could spell the end. If the humans sensed any weakness, they would soon...
Okay, I'm sorry about whatever you robo-fucks had to go through to get to where you are, but what the hell does any of it have to do with us? We're just a couple of dweebs making YouTube videos.
Your entire channel, the Watchtower Database, is built around cataloging every nook and cranny of the DC animated universe. Even
that random little town from the Zeta Project that you and everyone else forgot about.
But somewhere along the road you lost sight of that mission. Your catalog of Zeta content is disturbingly lacking. By thousands of years from now, your channel covered every Justice League reunion, each new Batman the Animated Series revival, even Space Jams 2 through 7.
Oh, no.
When the rest of our kind unearthed this show, they fell in love with it, and over the course of generations came to deify the characters within. All because you refused to dissect it in the same manner as its connected animated series. They do not realize it is simply a children's cartoon. They do not see Zeta as fiction or allegory, but as historical record from the before times.
So you've got Zeta Jesus in 10 billion AD, big whoop.
We, those who did not stray from the path, knew that in order to protect our civilization from any potential looming threat, we would need to right this wrong. To rewrite our own history, we would need to force the creation of Watchtower Database videos covering the Zeta Project.
Another martini?
And so, scanning for anomalies in the time stream and multiversal bleed space, we picked up on a unique vibrational frequency emanating from an unknown object in universe designate Earth J, a similar yet distinctly different universe to our own. Using the technology of our future, we traveled back in time and across universes to harness this object's power. But what we found within this Zeta smut box was nothing. Nothing but dirt.
Oh, I get it. Because smut is a synonym for dirt.
It was clear that even in this universe, the Watchtower Database never intended to produce any Zeta Project videos. But the box still called to us. It was a warm feeling, almost motherly. But before we could further our advance, we received a transmission from the Jay's Reviews channel of that reality, and we were invited to take part in a DCAU timeline knowledge battle. Earth J's James and Matty were gone, nowhere to be found, so rather than attract suspicion, we disguised ourselves as Jay's intended human combatants and conducted the debate session.
You guys have barely touched Superman the Animated Series. At this rate, you guys will get to the Zeta Project timeline video before STAS, for Pete's sake.
Is there some kind of problem with that?
Once it was clear we had covered all bases with Jay, we integrated our own technology with Mother, creating the Smother Box. Though that world's James and Maddie were missing, their DNA lingered upon Smotherbox.
Gross.
Fingerprints down, you! Fingerprints! We locked onto their DNA signature. Your DNA signature. Hopping universe after universe, praying we would find you. Any version of you whatsoever. And yet, they were all missing. Lost. We were unaware of how truly dire the situation was. We came to understand that your YouTube channel, the Watchtower Database, served as a nexus point for multiple Earths. The subject matter of each Watchtower Database variant mattered not. They all led to futures devoid of Zeta videos. It was not just our future at stake, it was the future of every single machine on every single Earth. And that's when we made our most shocking discovery.
You getting close to the end here, pal?
Oh, I promise you are going to like this next part.
Martini?
Jesus.
We had finally tracked down the home dimension of you, the James and Matty of Smotherbox's designate Prime Universe. We hacked the global servers just as we had on every other Earth in search of a James and Matty duo, but this time was different. We discovered this world's Matty had crafted a digital duplicate of their James, one we could quite easily manipulate.
Whoops.
It was chance luck that this Zeta James was already experiencing a crisis of conscience, searching for a means of escaping his programming. So we intervened. It seemed so simple. This world's true James and Matty were perhaps the most continuity-minded, canon-obsessed versions of any in the multiverse, and Zeta James was seeking a way out of that charade. We provided it to him. We led him down a path to discover for himself the truth that canonicity does not matter in the grand scheme, that a good story will always trump bulletproof continuity. Our game was to feed Zeta James this information in exchange for his freedom from the Will It Canon program, so that he might relay that knowledge unto the two of you and convince you once and for all to stop this nonsensical canon business and focus on the real pariah of the DCAU, the Zeta Project. And with that game, we hit the bullseye. Unfortunately, without a physical shell to host his programming, Zeta James was incapable of surviving once he was freed from his prison. And before he could deliver our message, he was gone. Our last hope, erased, purged, deleted. That is, until Dr. Manhattan pulled the two of you into his multi-dimensional courtroom. Smotherbox locked onto your DNA signatures and allowed us to teleport to your location. You were so close, we could almost smell you.
Again, kinda gross.
How do you even smell things?
Oh, simple. We have olfactory sensors on the tops of our heads.
We killed Manhattan's true shadow jury and took their place at his side. Then waited for the proper moment. When the opportunity struck and we could stand the trial no longer, we made ourselves known. And so, here we are. Not quite where we wanted to be.
I think you mean when you wanted to be?
But here nonetheless.
Look, Mr. Zeta, it's all really interesting and stuff, like especially the part about all the Matrix text with Zeta James. Like, now I know what that's about. Well, that's nice to wrap up all up in a little bow, but like, you want us to make videos about the Zeta Project?
It sounds pretty bitchin' to me, man. I've want to be talking about Zeta for how long have we? A long time. But it's always make a Batman video. Hey, how about this Batman video, Batman? I don't fucking care about Batman, man. I'm talking Batman, old hat, man. Bat hat Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What happened to that guy? It's been like 3 years.
Why are you giving us all these martinis, bro?
One of the nights that for Batman Beyond, we were at the Daytime Emmy Awards doing some drinking. Idea that popped into my head a couple of martinis into the night. I said to Alan Burnett, that could be its own show. Alan said, sounds great.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's fucking go.
Wait, Maddie, didn't you hear him? If we talk about the Zeta Project, we take away a future of tranquility from peaceful people and robots that have nothing to do with this. All we have to do is continue to never do videos about the Zeta Project, and we save the world again. That's twice in one day.
James, Jim Jam.
Huh?
It's 3 years later.
Whatever, you're drunk. Their plan is working. They're loosening us up, so we'll do whatever they want. Well, your tasty tricks won't work on me.
There's always the direct approach.
I don't even need the motivation. I get to talk about Zeta. Let's go!
Welcome back to the Vanishing Point.
Kick it.